Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Corey and I'm a bone cancer survivor who also lives with chronic illness, and I just wanted to come on here today and talk to you guys about the 5 big things that I like to see from other people to make living with my bone cancer disability easier. Now, I just want to preface this is my viewpoint. Every person's going to have their own individual needs and wants. You are specifically watching this because you want insight as to what someone else might need. My biggest advice to you is just to ask them. They know what they're going to want, and they're going to be, and they might be a little hesitant explaining that, but just ask them. If you're someone who knows me and I go through this list and you feel bad because I'm mentioning something that you have probably done in the past, it's okay. I know you're doing it from the kindness of and the love in the bottom of your heart. I haven't said anything really up to this point just because I don't want to make you feel bad, because I know you're doing it because you care about me. Please just take this as like information. You can do whatever you want with it. You can throw it out the window. You could really take it to heart and listen to some of these things I have to say. But let's get started. So number 1, let me tell you when I need help. Generally in my life, a lot of people are very concerned about making sure that they're helping and know what they can, and I'm really appreciative of that. The problem is when people start interjecting and forcing things onto me. I'm a pretty prideful person. When people are constantly asking me, oh, can I get you a lawn chair to sit down? Why don't you sit down? You should really sit down. Oh, don't go get it. I can go get it. You should just sit down. You're like, it's fine. It makes me feel like I'm worth less because I can't do as much. So let me just tell you, like, if I need help or if I want a chair, I might say, hey, is there like a lawn chair inside that I could sit down on? Or if I'm like really dying, I might be like, I'm just gonna like go inside, or I might just quietly walk inside to just decompress, sit down, do those things. If there's a meal, like I have a lot of food allergies, if there's a meal that I can't eat, I might not be eating it and not necessarily say something to not offend you. I have quite a few people in my life who really try to help with that stuff, and I'm so appreciative. But yeah, I'll let you know. I'll tell you. Let me come to you rather than pushing what you think I need, because I, at the end of the day, know what I need the most, and I want to feel like I have some of the control still left into how my disability affects my life. Number 2, stop expecting a different answer when you ask the question about how my pain is. Not everyone does this, but quite frequently I have individuals come up to me in my life and, they ask about the pain level. And the thing is, I live with chronic pain. I've been told this pain will probably never go away. When someone brings up the question of how much pain I'm in quite frequently, it just makes me feel worse. I already know that I'm in that much pain, and I know they're asking because they are concerned about my well-being. But I'm in pain, and asking me just is a reminder of being in that pain, and it kind of makes me feel like you're pitying me, and it doesn't sit well in that sense. One, I would just kind of say, unless you like are really seriously concerned, like I'm acting really weird, feel free to ask, but it's nice when people don't ask specifically about how much pain I'm in, just because, like, I'm just another person. Just ask me how I am. If I want to talk about my leg, I'll talk about my leg. I don't ever want to discourage anyone from asking me questions about my cancer, because if I can do that and educate, I think that's a really important resource. But at the same time, when it comes to specific things like how much like my pain impacts my life, it would just be nice to have a little bit of breathing room in terms of that, and letting me come to you and talk about it instead of you coming to me and asking about it. Number 3, I am very, very slow. I am a slow walker now. Depending on how much pain I am in, I might be limping more, I might be walking slower. Try to go at my pace. Like, a lot of people in my life don't understand that I am like desperately trying to keep up, and it's really exhausting, and it puts me in a lot of pain because I tend to like limp more, and like the way I limp when I'm trying to walk fast is really painful. So my best advice to you is, if you can, walk at my pace. I understand there might be times where we're rushing somewhere and somebody needs to like get ahead of time, and I'm perfectly cool with that. But if you're willing to like go a little bit slower and just enjoy life a little slower, that makes me feel so much better because I feel so left out when I am just left in the dust. Oh, don't worry about me. Oops, I lost my glasses. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine. Like, keep walking. Like, people will get pretty far ahead of me and then realize I'm not there and turn around, and it's really awkward, and I literally can't do anything about it. So if you're willing, going at my pace and like trying to match more of my pace, I try to keep up as much as I can, but there's only so fast I can physically go. You know? Number 4. Please, please, please don't pity me. That, of probably anything on this list, makes me feel the absolute worst. And most of these things actually combine into what I see as almost people pitying me in like a sad kind of pitiful way. I have life circumstances that aren't necessarily fair, but I mean, that applies to pretty much everybody. And for certain reasons, for different things, that's just what happens in life. Like, some stuff is not fair and it sucks, but those are the things that I particularly have to deal with. But I don't want to sit there and feel pitied. I want to like enjoy life and like live life to the fullest instead of sitting there and being pitied as I'm going up or downstairs and people are watching me do it one at a time. They're like, oh my God. It just makes me feel bad. You know, pointing out something specifically and being like, oh, that looks like it hurts. Yes, it does hurt. And yes, like it's making me feel almost shamed and pitied. And I know that's not the intention. I know that's just a way of trying to be empathetic. But it hurts. It honestly hurts me when people do that. I just want you to like have a happy life with me and not pity my situation. Like, not saying I don't want people to try to like empathize as much as they can, because very, very few people in this world understand what it's like to live with a bone cancer disability specifically. And because of that, it's going to be really hard to relate. And I really appreciate when people are trying to empathize. To me, I appreciate it in a sense that you're recognizing that there is something there, right? Okay, cool. I really appreciate that you see that, but I want to be seen as more than that. I want to be seen as like a fun, funky, unique individual who has this situation and that kind of sucks, but like we can live life together. And not just be pitied. Like, sometimes I might want a pity party about that. Hell yeah, I want a pity party about it sometimes. It is awful living with this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna cherrycoat it. I don't wanna like that to be the focus. And more positivity, not even positivity, but just no less pity. Unless I'm like sitting there and I'm actively just wanting to vent about it, it's more or less me wanting to vent. I don't necessarily want answer, like unless I'm specifically asking you for advice, I just want to vent about it because I live with it every day and it's really hard to keep in all of those emotions, even with therapy. So just live life with me. Number 5, the most important thing is if you don't know how to interact in a particular way, I would prefer to be asked directly, like just straight on, like no beating around the bush, no going around in circles. Just say like, hey, I have this question about this specific thing. Can I get your feedback on it? I would much rather me tell somebody directly, like them feel like they're asking an maybe odd or inappropriate question and give them an honest answer than someone to be predicting what I need and then in the process unintentionally offending me. Because I don't want the people around me to feel like that. I know the people around me try very, very hard to be as empathetic and kind as possible. If I don't explain some of these things, it's kind of my responsibility to do that at the end of the day. Sitting here and getting frustrated when certain things happen, but not saying anything, it doesn't work. And sometimes people don't know how to ask those questions. And oftentimes when it comes to things as sensitive as like bone cancer and like chronic illness and those types of things, it can make people feel really uncomfortable and not know how to approach the situation. But for me personally, I'm a very straightforward, direct person. Feel free to ask me. And even if I do slightly act taken aback, sometimes I just need time to digest it. And I would much, much rather feel taken aback for a little bit and answer you honestly than to us go in circles and not have have that good communication going on, because I want to communicate well with the people around me. I know some of the people around me are scared, like almost not scared of me, but scared of some of the things about my body, and I don't want you to feel that way. I want you to be able to like feel comfortable knowing that like I myself know what I need, and if you just let off a little bit, listen to some of these things that I'm trying to say and some of the things that would help me tremendously in living my day life every day, I would open up so much more about needing help. Or when I'm tired, I push myself to do things that sometimes I shouldn't be doing, particularly when I'm getting pushed on help or pity. Needless to say, you're an individual. You can act however you want, right? I'm not trying to say you should have to act in this way because I feel this way. I'm just saying this is how I feel about it, and if you want to interact and like if you want to take some of these points and like work them into your everyday life, fantastic, great. That would help a lot. But at the same time, I know what you're still doing every single day is like what you're trying to do is what you think is the like loving best thing for me. And I really try to remind myself of that fairly consistently because it's hard, right? When I'm in my own brain and it's all stewing, I have to constantly remind myself. I understand no one's perfect either. There's going to be times where maybe you'd like, and I do it too. I do it to other people without understanding that I might be having negative impacts or consequences to my relationship with someone or my communication with someone without understanding that, like with good intention. Needless to say, that's what's for me. If you have somebody in your life that has something significant and you just don't know how to interact with them, think about what kind of communication style that person has. For me, it's being very direct. And find a way to ask them those questions, because oftentimes they'll have an answer for you. They'll know how they want others to interact. They might just be shy like myself and trying to say, hey, these are the things that I would want from you. I think these things would help our relationship. But yeah, this video, as soon as my therapist actually brought up the idea of doing this video, because she's like, well, have you ever directly told somebody about these things? And I'm like, besides my husband, not really, no. Because these are really personal and I don't want others to feel like they're doing something wrong, and I want to just fit in, and like having to have this conversation already like it makes me feel almost alienated in a way, because it's like affirming that I am different and these are like my specific needs for my situation. But I'm trying to reframe that as just, this is my life. If I want to have good communication with people, I need to be honest, and I need to tell you, hey, XYZ, Q, whatever. Ooh, that breeze is nice and cool. But anyways, I just want to thank those around me who are really loving and supportive, and I really appreciate you. I want to thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I hope you take care. Bye!